Hello and welcome to Froggity Frog Crochet and this stitch guide on how to crochet the Tunisian Tower stitch. So this is a really unusual crochet stitch that combines regular crochet with Tunisian style stitches. So to make this stitch, you're going to need a foundation chain in multiples of 2 plus 1 for your turning chain. So to start the Tunisian Tower stitch, we're going to be making a row of slip stitches. So in the second chain from your book, you're going to make a slip stitch. So I'm just going to mark that so that this slip stitch is the first stitch of our row. And then you're going to slip stitch in every stitch across. The challenge with these is to keep them nice and loose, as we want to be able to work in them easily in the next row. So there's a lot of slip stitches in this stitch, so you're going to get plenty of practice on keeping that tension nice and loose. So just slip stitch in every stitch across, and then when you reach the end of the row, you'll have a single row of slip stitches. So then we're going to turn chain 1, and using the back loop only, which is right around the back. So this is the top loops of each of your slip stitches. We're going right into this back one here, and then just slip stitch again. I'll just mark that one as the first stitch of our row, and then you're going to continue slip stitching in the back loop only in every stitch across. So a lot of slip stitches in this stitch. So you really do have to reach much further around the back than you usually would for working into slip stitches. So they just tend to sit really flat along the side you're making them. Okay, so the last stitch of the row is another slip stitch, back loop only. So we're going to look like this. So it's getting quite thick at this point. And then we turn and chain 1. So onto row 3, and again it's a row of slip stitches. So this is our final row of slip stitches before we start our Tunisian towers. And again, you want to work into the back loop only. Just mark that one. And working again in the back loop only, slip stitch in every stitch across. So here's the front 2 loops of our slip stitch, and this one here is the back. So these 3 rows are really quite dense and sit really close on top of each other. All these loops. But this beautiful look at the end is well worth it. And then last stitch, back loop only. Oh, there we go. 3 rows of slip stitches. So now we're going to turn and we're going to start our towers. So we're going to start by chaining 4. And now we're going to make a double treble. For a double treble, you yarn over 3 times, and we're going back into that first stitch. So that row, chain 4 I just did, does not count as a stitch. And you're just going to insert your hook into, oh, wrong 2 loops. Those are the 2 loops. top 2 loops of your slip stitches, but just sitting slightly on the back for this row. Yarn over and pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. So you've got this really big stitch, and that's a double treble. Okay, so now we're going to be working in a Tunisian style through these parts of our stitch, so the ones that come diagonally across. Okay, so yarn over, push your hook through that first ridge, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next space, pull up a loop, and push your hook through the third one, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you should have 5 loops on your hook. Next, insert your hook into the next stitch in the row, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then slip stitch through 1 loop only on your hook. Then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through the last 2 as well. And that creates this tower in the Tunisian way. And then repeat that across the row. So into the next stitch, make a double treble. So you have to yarn over 3 times, pull through 2 loops until you get to the top, and you'll have these 3 loops going across the front, and that's the ones we're working into. Yarn over, insert your hook through the first one, pull up a loop, go to the next one, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and into the third one, insert your hook, pull up a loop. 5 loops on your hook, insert your hook into the next stitch, that's 2 loops crossing towards the back, yarn over, slip stitch through the first loop only, then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, up to the top again. So you get these columns, these towers being worked across the row, and we have the gaps in between that are completely clear. And you just repeat that all the way across the row. Into the next stitch, we make our double treble. And then yarn over, insert your hook into the first loop, pull the loop. So you don't yarn over for any of the others, just the first one. And you've got 3 of them in each double treble. Then we make the slip stitch into the next stitch, and then bring our stitches back up the tower. There it is. So we'll make a couple more. I find this stitch far easier to make when working on the side. It just makes it easier to get into the right spaces. And slip stitch into the next stitch. And then we start yarning over and pulling through 2 loops all the way back to the top of the tower. So 2 loops left, 2 stitches left in the row, and we finish with the tower. Yarn over through the first loop, then hook into the next one, and the next. Slip stitch into the last stitch of the row, pull it out to make sure I've got the right loops. There we go. And slip stitch, and then yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the top of the tower. Those are your tower stitches. So quite an unusual stitch, but pretty interesting to make. Okay, so row 5. Turn, chain 1. Back loop only, make a slip stitch. And we're going to slip stitch in the back loop only every stitch across. Remember to keep those nice and loose so we can work on them in the next row. Remember that chain 4 at the beginning does not count as a stitch from the previous row. And there we go, there's row 5. So to continue the Tunisian tower stitch, you're going to be repeating rows 2 to 5. And there is your stitch guide on how to crochet the Tunisian tower stitch. I would love to see what you make with this unusual stitch. Please do come and show us over in our Facebook group, Froggity Frogs Ribbit and Stitch. You can find the link beneath the video. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well, for more crochet stitches, free crochet patterns and hints and tips as well. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time for the next video. Bye for now.